And welcome back to another episode of the Project WEBTOONs podcast. Woo! We are up and going today, and man, do we have some stuff to talk about. Man, 6 chapters in one day. In one day, y'all. just
one
just drop.
single day for
one
Inso's
single day.
Law. Oh my god.
And some crazy stuff all across the board on some of those other webtoons, man. This week was
this week was crazy
busy
with it, dude.
Oh man,
it was crazy.
I'm ready for this though. So I am of course your host, the great and powerful Sleepy, coming from you across the interwebs.
It's your boy Seraph here.
Hey.
And this is Arc Dragoon.
We're all in it. Nice. I like this. I like it.
Last time we forgot him. Y'all remember that?
It's like there's one other person, but I'm not sure who it is. Nah, it's all right. I'm not forgetting nothing. It's all good. It's all good.
It's all love, baby.
Oh man, how your week's been?
I'm gonna let you go first.
I'm not dead.
I mean, it's always great that you're not dead. Granted, I know that's not a positive for you, but it's great for us. But it's great for us.
Because you're back again, which we love.
Yeah.
You know? I recently picked up Iceborne, haven't played it yet. Been doing things during the nighttime. Nice. So expect me to come hop in to play with y'all.
Yeah, we're ready. You're not the only one.
Carry your ass.
Please do, Chief. Please do.
Carry us all. Or carry us. Come on.
I mean, I heal everyone all the fucking time.
I know. Yeah. you're our Peerless Dad.
I'm the white mage.
He's the white mage of the group. I'm just gonna be running in with a log sword and 24/7, dog.
Just all day, every day. Oh man. But yeah, well, I know everyone here is more excited and waiting for us to talk with all of our different webtoons we got this week. We got new chapters of everything coming out. So UnOrdinary, Descent, My Wife's Demon Queen, Legendary, Peerless Dad. We got, sadly, only one chapter of solo leveling. So I know a few people are a little upset about that, but a whole slew.
Yeah, I was mad about us not getting 103. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I titled this episode, I'm mad. It wasn't just because a lot of the characters were showing it, but I feel like collectively the community was also just a little upset about not getting 103.
Why? Because you guys just want to see the fight, or like?
I mean, everybody wants to see the fight. Especially right after that, you don't cliffhanger something like that and just I'm gonna be gone for Christmas break for like 2 weeks or something. It's like, no, finish this first and then go on vacation.
Nah, let them go on vacation.
I
consume everything else anyways.
This is true. But we could just jump all the way down into this. Let's start off right at the top for one there. I want to get this one out of the way definitely because I know that Arc and I wasn't recording it, but we are already having our back-to-back rant angry discussion for this one. But UnOrdinary.
Ooh, man, I don't even know what to start with that one. That shit just went crazy.
We have to apologize that we forgot about UnOrdinary last time.
We did forget about UnOrdinary.
Did we?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we did. But so we'll be covering all those in between. So, but we're making it up right now. We're gonna be discussing 106 to 170 right now. So, pretty much all the free versions. We're not covering beyond that at the moment. But
we don't want to get any spoilers.
Yeah,
I haven't even gone past for the fast pass because I didn't want to buy it. I mean, worth it.
Yeah, but I mean, even though it's like spoilers, it's like we really wanted to go that idea. It's like, most of these are all. There's all light novels of a lot of them, so they're like already all done. So if you want to be like that much of a jerk about it, but still, that's here nor there. UnOrdinary 106 to 107. So I know we left off where Saphira was getting jumped by an imitation Joker, and John just had come around the corner. So they were basically doing the buddy cop team up to take.
They had to do the crime time duo.
167 to 170.
Not 106 to 170.
Oh, 167 to 170. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I was like, I thought we were well beyond those chapters already, but okay. like I said, you know, it's just everyone is fucking incompetent, and I don't know why. I need just one competent person. Can I have that? That's all. One competent person.
Would it really make anything fixed more so in the story, though? Really?
I could at least bear with it then. At least just one person who knows. Like, I can understand there are teenagers and none of them want to listen to each other, right? But that's not even the truth, because like we have Seraphina who's like, I wanted to like know the truth, but John doesn't want to tell me, so like she wants to listen, but
no one wants to
talk. You understand? So like now we're at the point where like she's like, okay, apparently the only person who knows what the fuck is going on is Arlo. So like, Arlo, what the fuck is going on? And is he really going to admit that he's like, yeah,
I got my butt handed to me by this weak kid that we all thought was a lie.
It was my bad. What?
I got my shit handed to me, dog.
I provoked the demon. Apparently, I looked into the.
I looked into the darkness.
He looked into the depths of the abyss.
Yeah,
and he got clapped.
Oh, but I mean, okay. Well, at least with the last chapter, Arlo calls Seraphina out. And it seems like he's going to basically just lay out the entire timeline for when she was off campus back at home. So she's about to get the history of essentially what occurred. And you'll pretty much have, you know, the person who's willing to listen now and what she will do with it. If she's going to go and talk with John and like, okay, I understand what occurred, but is this the right way to handle it? Is she actually going to fight John? Maybe?
She gonna throw hands or what?
If I am 99% sure that what's gonna happen is Arlo is going to not tell her the entire truth, and he's going to end up leaving like backstory about John. All right.
He's gonna just half-ass it.
Yeah, like I feel like he's gonna end up half-assing and be like, oh yeah, I found out that John had superpowers, and then I tried provoking. Like, not mention that, oh yeah, John had superpowers, but the reason why he didn't use them was because he nearly killed the entire school, and then was taken into the cops. Like, well,
yeah, taken by whatever special force and basically psychologically brain tortured. Yeah, I definitely see that probably being the more likely trait, just because the way the writing has been.
Because there has to be some sort of drama instead of like, oh hey guys, let's just someone just needs to sit down and talk and explain exactly what happened. It's not hard. It is not fucking hard.
You know, I hope we get one character that does it and everyone just tells that person to shut down. Like, it would be hilarious. But either way, still, there's still so many factors still going in with everything that's going on in the school, and they just started throwing back in the issue with Ember and that terrorist organization. So I don't know if that's gonna rear its head again finally, since they've kind of wandered off from that whole side story and arc.
Just gotta do some.
No, they didn't, because they mentioned it, and the kids obviously know that the Ember has some sort of like government connection already. Like they're like, oh yeah, it's obviously that they're leaving information out because so and so. It's like, okay, but if you're a kid and you realize this, there's no way that other people do not realize this.
Are you
right?
sure, like, though? Because only one kid noticed that they were clearly leaving out information. Everybody else, the redhead, the other dude, he clearly didn't. But the student, the newspaper president knew, like, oh, I can tell that they're leaving out information because this is exactly how I would do it. So it's that thing of, yeah, someone who does it can recognize it, but the rest of the populace probably doesn't. They take the information as it's given and think, okay, that's the truth. So, I mean, yeah, but everything that's happening with Ember in the outside world is perfectly mirrored with what's going on in the school. I mean, they're suppressing information. People are basically running around not knowing who the enemy is because they're masked. There are a few people that know what's going on but are choosing to stay quiet because either A, they're afraid of the real person in charge, or B, they don't want to destroy what little bit of control is still within the school.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
There's a bunch.
You mean besides the principal who encourages it? Because he's like, no, don't worry. When shit happens, I'll take care of it. You're like, shit is already happening. How are you not going to take care of it? Like,
hey, I've already made my comment about that and all of the parents that are just like, I don't understand how any parent would send any kid to this school, regardless. Even if the idea is like, yeah.
I don't know how any parent would send any of the kids to any school if it's gonna be like this. Bro, that was elementary school. John was in elementary school. When he became the king and nearly killed 12 kids. Like, bro.
I mean, how many near-death experiences do one has to have? Be like, maybe I shouldn't be here. Come on. Not everybody in this world can be Yoshi, okay? You can't just throw him off a cliff and just be like, that's cool. Bad. But either way, there's still a lot more to cover with that. We still have we got chapters coming out. We'll see what the author goes with next, especially with Seraph supposedly getting the talk. We'll see if we'll see if Ark is right with his belief, which I'm pretty sure is probably going to be fairly accurate, since the chances of people changing are a little low. But yeah, what's up?
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
So about UnOrdinary, for everyone who is listening to this, it's not that we hate this story.
Don't use the royal we.
Hey, no. But it's a slow story, guys. It is a fucking slow story at times.
There's times it picks up.
There is nothing to talk about it unless like 10 chapters go by, at least.
There's times when it picks up, but then
there's a lot of talking before anything picks up.
Yeah, big time. There's so much talking. It's like all filler, and it's just like, what is the reason for this?
What I would like to do is like, what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want us to continue with this, or like I suggested that we just do at the end of the season and actually discuss the thing, but like I like to at least hear everyone's opinion who is listening to this. Like, hey, we want to actually still continue hearing about UnOrdinary, no matter how fucking ordinary it feels like at times. All right, but. Or I guess probably you guys just want to hear me mad at the story. All right.
I mean, I'm smiling.
Yes.
I'm always grateful.
All right.
We'll see.
Same.
Just leave a comment below if you want us to continue with this one, or if you prefer like a different format where we actually just wait to the end of the season, cover it all entirely the way through. This way we can get a whole better grasp of everything that's going on. But yeah, we'll come back to that. We have a few things that we're possibly thinking about changing up for this one as well. But to get on a lighter note, and to a character that I know that Ark will probably have a little bit more time feeling comfortable with, since he actually reflects upon his situations. Descent of the Demonic Master. Woo!
Descent of the Demonic Master. This is getting good. Okay, we're getting to the part where like he's not absolutely reverted back to like how he was before, but he's just like, no, I just have to teach them a lesson. I'm just going to like chop your hand off. I'm not going to kill you.
So we gotta fill in that part there. So we know at the last part that he was in the middle of being ambushed and he had already gotten wounded. Both of his companions have been taken away, but he's now struck back full force, and he basically had that little moment where he was like, you could just easily take all of this down. You could kill them. This is nowhere out of the power set you used to have. But it seems like he's not trying to 100% go to that version of himself he was in the other world. Though that version still lived inside of him.
It's because he cherishes his family enough where he's like, man, I'd rather not get to that point where like there's no coming back and people like have to die.
I mean, it seems it's more or less like he has people he actually he wants and has to protect this time. Whereas even in the other world, the one person that he gave his trust to betrayed him. So he's kind of like, if I go too far, I'm just essentially going to make another person that's going to do that same thing. So, maybe this time, instead of just thinking, the only way to handle my problem is just to eliminate the problem, I'll go a different route. And we also see the whole reflection of, the only reason that this problem started is because of so-and-so things. But the cool thing though is that before we have that whole talk with him, you know, being realistic about him like getting into a fight and someone pulling a gun and him like, oh, I don't know if I can handle that. Let me jump out of the way. You know, Seraph, are you talking? It looks like
I'm streaming it live.
Oh, okay.
I'm
just
chatting
making
with
sure.
the chat right now. You know,
All right.
so that's why I have it on.
I'm just making sure. Just making sure.
But yeah, no, I just find it crazy that his old self showed up in front of him when he was like near death type deal, and he just goes, "Yo, you know, you could just wipe the floor with them and end their whole lives." But instead, he was like, "No, I'm not gonna go back to those old ways. I'm gonna make myself a new person." So then he ended up going to go throw hands with this dude, took out the big dude, took out the sniper, and then he was like, and then the dude with the gun thought he had the. He killed him.
What's important is that he realized that there are other returners.
A lot of other returners.
Yeah, he's like.
Well, he already realized that there were others.
Yeah, but he's like, who taught you that shit? What? Yeah, who taught you to like walk? Who taught you that movement?
It's really sloppy. But yeah, I want to know.
You're not very good at it, but that's not your moves.
He's starting to notice returners that are some people from at least the same timeline he went to. Cause
I was gonna say like there's gonna be other returners from his timeline that he actually might know.
No, yeah. Even those that might be way before them, because I mean, he learned that one dude learned all these moves when he was younger. So someone's been here a lot longer than our MC has. So you know that definitely puts a light on things. But I definitely wanted to bring light to the new moveset, especially with him. Now he's more than capable of dodging bullets. At least predicting where the shots were and being able to react to them.
Well, the only reason why the sniper was able to hit him was because the sniper is like, I do not actually shoot, and the person directs me to shoot.
Yeah.
So, like, he was like,
well, he has no malice intent.
Yes.
Because he's not the one making the decision to. Someone's commanding him to. So.
Oh, but look, as soon as I get over my PTSD, I can finally do this. But it's like, yeah, but that's the reason why you were good before. You weren't the one pulling the trigger, but now that you do, I know where you are. How well that plays into my hand. But not even that. But like when Homeboy decided after both of his Meatball and I forget the other dude's name is taken out, and he's like, oh well, if this is how this is gonna go, and he pulls out the drug and injects himself, and he just straight up loses it on him. He turns into the Sonic, bro. He's just everywhere with it. And he full on goes into that like just straight gun fu and just surrounding him with guns and bullet fire.
Gun fu.
Just the sphere of bullets, and I'm like, okay, so
let's see how the MC's gonna handle this one.
And very easily he's like, oh.
Let me just sidestep and cut off your arm.
He's blocking bullets.
He blocks all the bullets with his sword. He's like, this is so nice. I remember this kind of danger, and he's just so excited by the whole thing happening to him. But he completely overpowers our would-be ambusher and cuts off his arm. And then basically he's like, oh, they go into that whole montage of like, I'm willing to die here. And he's like, what do you mean die? I didn't kill any of them. I just hurt them enough that they wouldn't, do this again. And he's like, oh, why didn't you say that before? And just falls over.
And then heals him. And then he's like,
he's just like, my arm too? Here.
Hello?
He just,
And then he repaired his cut off arm.
No, he couldn't.
He couldn't do that. I think he at least he healed the chest wound.
He was like, oh yeah, I made it so that you would stop bleeding.
Yeah.
That arm is gone. Like that, your hand is gone. You're done with that hand. Like,
or you can
fixing that.
Maybe you can go take it to a modern doctor, and maybe they'll reattach it in time. I don't know, but he at least repaired everything, and we see him reflect on the whole situation of like, they wouldn't have come after me if I hadn't have provoked them in the restaurant. Like this all stemmed from that. So that reflective nature of hey, all these
You mean like the
actions
only
have
MC
consequences.
that ever reflects on his like shit? Like, oh, you know what? Maybe if I didn't do that, shit would have gone down.
I mean, is it really the
He
only
actually
MC?
goes back to reflect on what he's done.
I mean, a lot of the story for this character has been about reflection. I mean, he's lived one life, it was really poor. He lived another life, it was more exciting, but it ended in a really not great way. So now it's always like, you know, am I making the best choice out of a situation? You know, is this going to get me to where I really want to be, or is it going to bring a lot of problems? So, yeah. But, I mean, we made it out of this one. He's got essentially a new disciple and a crying secretary who's really upset about missing out on his vacation.
Just don't forget about the vacation. That's gonna happen soon, man.
I just really need that vacation.
Was it Macau?
Macau. Let's go that vacation. But but hey, we ended off at least on this situation. We still haven't seen anything come up from the Martial Arts Association show up or anything. So
I just like it how the dude was like, "Oh, we fucking hate the Martial Arts Association, dog. They can go eat it."
Which is a very keen way of saying, "Hey, we're allies just in case." You know,
we're homies.
You have a mutual enemy. I hate them too. Well,
I just like it how at the end the dude just the guy who had the gun was like, "I owe you a favor. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I owe you a favor, dog. Just know that." So he became from enemy to acquaintance.
I know Ark will get this, but did he just declare the law of surprise?
I mean,
I'm pretty sure he just declared the law of surprise.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
It's fine.
I mean, is it though?
Yeah, it's fine because it's foreshadowing for later. It's fine.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. I mean, either way.
Double, homie.
Either way, Descent ended on a great note. I'm really excited with it. I got to see a really nice fight scene. It's just killing it.
Oh yeah, no, that
all with the story.
Awesome.
Oh man, I really wish that comes out a little bit faster each time, but it's such a good read sometimes. Oh, I super enjoyed that one. Woo! Oh man, very, very big time. But moving on there to our next contender. Let's actually jump over here since we didn't have too much from last one, but Legendary Moonlight.
I enjoyed that chapter. How he
we're on the arc. We're in the real world more than the VR world. But even then, it's like, how did you compare the real world to the fake world? Or like, and he's just like, no, they're the same thing. I make money here, I make money there. That's exactly what this is.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I guess
that's actually what I was gonna bring up, to be honest. How comparing the real world to the virtual world, that's the same thing.
I mean, yeah. So Weed now is in the middle of a college interview, but he doesn't realize that it's an interview for him, and he thinks it's for his sister. So, and amazingly enough, he doesn't put two and two together when he goes to the interview, and it's about VR and all of this. It's like, was she always interested in that? I don't ever remember her bringing it up, but that MC cloudiness for putting the dots together sometimes, but
takes a little bit. It
takes a little bit, but yeah, he kills it in the interview, of course, giving that grand speech of how he doesn't see the difference between this world and the VR world. Like, hey, I make money and I do a job there, and I do the same out here. So what's the difference, really? So, but now does that do you think that the next arc for him is going to basically be all of this in the outside world, since essentially he's more or less being forced to be putting all of his time into going to school? Which
we're going to do something really stupid. We're going to find out that there's a course where they play on player mode.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I feel like it's going to be. It's not going to, because it has to if it's going to just be in the real world all the time, then what was the point of everything up to this point? No, it's going to be like, oh yeah, we have a school and our class is this, and you're like, bitch, I'm already taking this class.
I'm already the god of this class. What do you mean?
Am I the professor of this class? I forgot. But I mean, we have that whole previous chapter where they were more focused on his old teacher, and that whole and with the sword master and the swords group, and they're basically doing their whole adventure inside of the VR.
Where they're like, apparently there's this 3-hour-long video this guy uploaded, and so like now we know that there's this necromancer class stuff, and it's like but this is because of all of about him. So like
19 hours.
Are they going to balance his
his school life with his
school life with his VR life with his like basically casting life, like
he's going places, boys.
I mean, even when he doesn't know that he's going places, he's going places. So but I mean, the way especially with the way the chapter ended with supposedly someone showing up,
just like causing a ruckus, and everybody gets up from their chairs going, "Oh, you trying to catch smoke?" Because we already know that weed is efficient in martial arts and sword
it very much is.
So if anybody wants to try and throw smoke with him, then like,
well, the question is it somebody trying to throw smoke, or is it just somebody that they all recognize or somebody they know? I mean, we do know that a few of the people that he is friends with inside of the VR world are actually fairly famous. So it wouldn't surprise me if so-and-so just shows up at the really high-end restaurant they went to, and and they're just like, "Oh, it's you from the game. Well, why don't you join us in the?" And then, "Oh yeah, I party with them every now and then. You're partying with the famous so and so," and that just raises a whole new level of things he has to deal with.
More character development for other characters, though. That'd be really nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a bit since we've seen some of the others, but
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it'd be nice to have a change of pace where we would have like other characters in there. Like, I was really hoping for that arc of the sword master to come through instead of Weed in his interview. I was kind of hoping I was going to be off screen, but they kind of hit it with that, and I was like, man, I wanted to see more of the sword master. To be honest, I'm sorry, but. Like I said last time, that like he's like probably like one of my more favorite characters so far that in the series.
Yeah, for sure. He is those two. That whole group is just definitely an interesting bunch of random crazy motherfuckers to say.
Oh yeah, no, they'd be wilding the fuck out.
Oh, very much so, very much so. But talking about wilding out and crazy ass plans, let's go with Peerless Dad.
Ooh.
So the plan seems to be working for him.
Yeah, no, it's working out.
They haven't seemingly had any problem.
I feel like things are going too well, right?
It can't go this well.
I mean, tension will probably happen, but so far, nothing has occurred to like really be much of a hindrance. So, hey, if it works, go with it.
If it works, it just works.
Yeah.
No. Also, let's be honest. My favorite part was the guys were like, "Hey, where are your security guard mates? You should teach us how to do kung fu." Like, sure.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. He beats the dude every time.
Man, he's like, my kung fu is not for you guys. You should teach us how to fight.
We can do it. We can handle it.
We can handle it. And then just like shows him beating the fuck out of them.
Like
with a stick.
All of them are on the ground. He's like, "Hey, you should at least teach us something first before you start beating us." It's like, yeah, this is the teaching. This is the teaching.
This is how it's done. This is how I was taught.
I like how he was like, you know what? I guess we can start with like body foundations.
Yeah, body workouts.
I'm surprised he didn't think of that when that's how he taught the kids, right? Because he taught them body foundations.
Remember when he taught the kids, he didn't want to teach them anything, but he's like, all right, well, at least let's start with that, because then he'll know they'll be able to protect themselves to an extent. But then when they got further into it, they started nagging and getting a little upset, and they wanted to learn. And that's when he decided, okay, I will teach them the first part of my training.
I will beat them too, I guess.
It's specifically only the boys. I want to make that comment. He's only beating the boys.
Say, little girl is only learning from the old man, and she can't practice any of it.
And that's the one thing I did want to bring up for this one, because in the last two chapters, we actually see the kids learning from some of the other masters, which I know he previously had a sparring match with each one of them, and I didn't know the outcome of how that was determined, but it looks like
that he got
the outcome is they're
all going to teach them. But it seems like they're not all teaching them like
specific things,
specific styles, like the mastery of each style, but more or less like the general nature for each one. So in 106, they were all learning from the Flying Dragon Master, and she was showing them off of her sword movements. All three of them were there. But then in this one, it's I cannot remember. Is he part of which sect he's part of? The dude with the orange hair that looks like, or the red hair, and he's the one that
like
actually.
He's of the Imperial Dragon.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, he was teaching. He was teaching, but it was just the boys this time. But of course, we know that the daughter is getting
twins.
Like the best training with the side master.
All of them, to be honest, dude. But like, I kind of like it how he noticed that the kids brought out their inner chi, their light chi.
Yeah, their light chi.
Like, where do they learn this from, and how?
Yeah, and
what's important to know is that the reason why the old man is telling the daughter not to to watch and learn, but to not do what they're doing, is because he's already noticed that the boys have multiple key deviants in them.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, that's bad. Like,
because they have like 3 of them, right?
Well, that was the whole thing when they got back after they were kidnapped. The one thing that they were treating them is that they said all their entire structure and their key foundation was a complete mess because the way that they were trained, and then also the fact that they started learning multiple different styles. They never learned the base of like just how to channel and control their ki before actually introducing all of the other foundations on top of it. And that's the one thing that the Imperial Dragon Master starts going over his head. He's like, should I teach them just the foundation first, because everything comes from that? So, and of course, she's getting that training from her teacher that watch what they do, but don't do what they do, because it'll mess you up in some way. So
it could potentially kill you if you mix them all together.
Exactly. There's clearly a reason why there isn't a master of everything. No one in this world can be the Batosai. You can't just learn all the sword styles and it'd be okay. It will literally end you. But yeah, getting that little side bit with them and seeing how that all worked out. Not to mention our side story we got with the dad and his secret love interest. He's got
girl?
Yes. And the fact that she's setting him up on a date.
Little young.
I do like the fact of how she starts like trying to like play off like the potential.
She's going ham with it.
She's going ham with. She's like, how old is?
She's going for it.
Like he's all in 40. It's like, I'm totally looking for a new wife. And then she's like, oh, that's great. And he's like, well, how old is she? And she's just like this, and he's like, 32, that's perfect. And he's like, no, this many. And he's like, 42. I don't know about that. That's, yeah. And he's like, I got
a shot to date a cougar. CougarMeets.com, I'm on my way.
But then she's like, no, 20. And he's like, nope.
I'll walk it out of here.
No, yeah, he just straight up, nope. And the comedy gets, I have a conscience. And I'm like, really? You? Are you sure?
People, man.
Yeah, but that was a nice, fun one-off for him. Just we know in a later chapter.
Really cute. It was really cute.
Really great.
It was super cute.
We will have a small chapter where he has a date.
And I'm there for it, dog. I am there for it.
I mean, the chapter where we realize that he is a she and be like,
I didn't see this coming. I didn't at all. That's some good writing there. You got me. You really got me.
you done did it.
You just really did. But Yeah,
No, I expect it to be something real stupid, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're her
sister,
or something."
or that's that. Oh, you're his sister. I see. He set me up with that.
Or someone.
I mean, I think he said that it was a friend, but still. Either way,
I'm sure he's gonna be super dense and not realize.
I'm positive he'll be dense about it.
But we could be surprised because apparently this plan of his is going really well. Where I'm like, yeah, it's going too well. Something bad's gonna happen.
I mean,
nothing can ever go too well.
No, nothing can ever go too well. But all plans generally tend to fall through. And we're getting there. Speaking of falling through, my wife is a demon queen. Woo! Our last two chapters, we fell through a hole in the floor.
Yeah,
it is, and they're fighting slimes and stuff, but it's still just slow because they're just discovering what is in this ancient dungeon beneath this one town that, like, apparently no one has ever. I'm like, how? There's no way this thing has been here for this long, and no one has ever said anything. How? How did no one ever discover this? I am sorry.
We do live in a world of 100% magic, so. Magic cloaking technology. We can easily throw multiple things here.
True.
About this.
I just want to point out the way the layout of the place was when they showed it up. It just looks like an underground temple.
It looks like an underground temple, or it looks like a giant skyscraper.
No, it looks like a giant skyscraper and maze put together because it's like huge.
The thing is giant.
The thing is gigantic. It's real big, which just gives me more to that whole thing about him bringing up, like, I think other people from my world have come here because this structure just looks a little too recognizable. So
I just want to bring out the Incursio armor that he's got, dog.
Oh God. Yes, the armor he just rocks all the time.
The Incursio armor, dog.
Oh man, yeah, very much so. But also, YB, while she's in this place, she regains some of her demon powers, and also that a little friend shows up for her.
The demon that they went into the forest.
Yeah, the plant guardian from the tournament apparently has the ability to just teleport from.
Lives in, like, the bracelet or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And she just tells him.
She just lives there. Apparently, that's how that works now.
Yep. I mean,
this is my Pokeball.
Yep, I keep this at all times, just in case. I got it. It'll come to me what I need it. But still, we've got more companions than we've realized here now because of that. So, but we got the half of them with them falling through the hole and them talking with all the slimes and the monsters and getting rid of that. But then back with the other two companions who fell in a completely separate area, and they discovered the next chamber.
Yeah, the chamber was like, I'm just going to push this door real hard.
I was kind of expecting him not to be able to open the door for a hot second, just because him.
But then he ended up opening, and you're just like, what? Hold on, wait a minute.
I mean, we saw how powerful he was during the tournament. I was expecting him to burn off all his hair again for a little bit, just because, him going that far. Mm-hmm. But still, we found the next chamber. We found the next part of the map, essentially. I don't know if that's going to reveal anything new, for at least anything that they'll be able to understand without YB and our main character showing up. So
no, I feel like they're going to end up doing something real stupid and activating something they shouldn't touch.
Probably. I mean, they did leave the dragon alive. It's still there. So
that sounds about right.
So this does seemingly fit into that format of don't touch what you don't know, but let me touch everything anyway, just in case.
Like every adventure movie possible.
Pretty much, But moving on from there, after that craziness, let's actually get our one chapter of solo leveling we spoke with here. The fight happened.
102. The fight
started. The fight started, and everyone is
midway
through. And the main character's mom is like, "Where is my son?" and then
his little sister is like,
"I don't know."
Watch the TV because I don't need you apparently watching like my brother, the main main character do this badass
No.
shit.
Well,
No,
Mom, who
The
just
TV
came out of
broke when
a.
he vanished.
I was
He was like, "What were you guys watching?" Oh,
nothing.
we were watching the Jeju Island raid. He disappears. TV goes off. She checks her phone. It's like, Oppa? Nani?
Nani? But we finally got the meetup between the Ant King or Ant Warrior and the King of the Humans. We were looking forward to. What's up?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say he's the king of the humans.
I mean, as long as the Ant King is taking it, he's calling anybody who's strong the king. So I'll give him that title for right now. But I know that Seraph, you had a long discussion about this last night. So
We did yesterday.
So
yeah.
I know there's a lot that you guys already went over there, but
We went incredibly into it.
but you know, this fight just coming out of the gate, I know that I know Ark, you were a little disappointed with this way this was going to start because you wanted like maybe Dad to show up, but
I need something to actually progress the story. This is the part where like his mom should have seen him do this and be like, oh, right? They'd be like, oh no, I already lost my husband to this and I don't want to lose my son over this too. Something. Give me something that actually is plot and not just fight. I don't mind fight, but I need something to drive the plot.
well, I'm enjoying the fight. And a fight it is. Yeah, so he's not really having much of a problem taking on the king, as it seems. He's dropped his weapons and they're basically just they're just throwing hands.
They're literally fisticuffing him.
They're
man.
just fisticuffing.
Yeah, let me just punch you real hard, and you're gonna punch me. And let me see.
We're
That's
just
not
gonna
hard enough.
exchange
so
back and
harder.
forth for the punches.
Oh yeah. So we're pretty much gonna guess that the fight's gonna go in his favor completely. He's not really gonna have any issue
And to
taking
be honest, I was really
him
hoping
out.
that it wasn't. Because then it'd be a nice setback. Noxie brought it up yesterday. That'd be a nice setback where Jin Woo kind of loses for once.
I was.
That's not gonna happen. There's
I know it's not. But I'm
But
just saying it
we're
would've
just
been
saying
nice.
it was
I'm just
saying
saying it would've
something
been nice
we want
to.
it to happen. Like we want that to occur, so it has that tension. Like I'm not the strongest there is, or at least I know that there's others above me, and I need to. I can't just easily OP myself out of this every situation that comes up. And I definitely agree to that. I do want that bit, and I definitely wanted the bit where, you know, someone else shows up to kind of, you know, take out the Ant Warrior, or somebody else to appear. You know, just I wanted that little bit of difference. But even with that, it's still fun watching him battle out the king, just straight fisticuffing.
Bare hands, dude. Nothing but his hands.
Nothing but his hands. I mean, more or less, it's just to show everybody else, like, oh yeah, all the associations, all the top warriors you just sent here, yeah, you didn't need to. I could have handled most of this. I'm sure that's going to put a significant target on his back more than anything, because everyone's going to be worried with somebody with having that much power rolling around with
Especially
amnesty.
the national level hunters.
Yeah.
You know.
He's a literal army.
Pretty much.
He has an entire army at his feet, and he could create more.
And he can create
to
more
add to his army.
to add as he destroys others around. So
Yes, like he could literally
No,
take over the
he's
world
end
by
up
himself.
showing- Here he's already ended up showing that, oh hey, yeah, if you send things against me, I'm just going to add them. You understand this? They are mine now.
So the real question that I wanted to bring up there is, do you think that any of this is going to backfire against him? Displaying all this power, showing up randomly.
No,
No? You know he's
No.
not going to have any repercussion?
no,
No.
that's a big doubt for me, boss.
Okay.
Mainly because of the fact that like he is literally saving an entire island.
This is true.
Like all the it's nationwide. Everybody around the entire world can see this going
Mhm.
on. So they're gonna view him as a hero compared to a villain. Because if it was gonna be a villain, he would have just showed up, took all the ants, and just left, and then came up again later to take over the world.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like the way that with Jinwoo's mindset and the way it's playing out, I don't think it's gonna have any repercussions because all he wants to do is just add to his army so he can just get stronger and then fight whatever other threat there is out there for him to test his limits, test his abilities.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I can see that. I just had an idea just in case that, you know, I mean, especially with anybody showing a massive amount of power, displays of power, even through heroism, you know, governments, especially on this level, and people that have organizations, they usually tend to always be a little bit wary of those that just freely do what they want, especially if they, don't have to go through anything.
If anything, what's going to happen is there'll be a weird power thing between Korea and
the rest of the world.
South Korea
and
the rest of the world. But like it's not going to, like, I don't think it's going to be any real consequence to him though.
Okay.
But it also, like, if you think about it, if another association from like Germany or America or like, you know, Russia and shit like that, they see that, they want to recruit him. They will do whatever they can to bring him into their power.
Okay.
To make them the top of the leaderboard of hunters.
Okay.
So there really isn't any repercussions considering the fact that Jinwoo can gain so much from this.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I can see him gaining a lot. I definitely see a fair few things playing in favor, but then, like you said, with him getting offers and people trying to come after him to, you know, pull them over to their side, you know, that then creates that tension between, you know, stay home, protect the territory, or, you know,
do I want to go out about and discover more shit,
discover more things, you know, fight other people of higher levels,
and see what the system is about, see if it's anywhere else in the world, because he's still curious about the system regardless, you know. So like, what he could do is, if he really wanted to, he could go to America and try and figure things out, see if they know anything about it or whatever. Like, he can't tell anybody about it per se, but he can still go into dungeons and figure it out from there, because like we saw with the dungeons, how his dad was trapped in a dungeon and came out of a dungeon from Korea to America. So like, these dungeons are kind of linked somehow.
They're connected in some way.
They're all connected via extra dimensional stuff, quote from Noxy. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just wild how like the system works and everything, and how it's just gonna try and lead him to something. So he wants to try and figure it out.
Yeah.
So I would guess he would probably go somewhere else to see the other dungeons and see what's good with it.
Okay. I mean, that's definitely more solid there in my mind. Is just an off the cuff, top of the head thing. See where y'all heads might be at with that. You know, just in case. I'm not trying to read the light novel to read ahead. You know,
I'm not doing that either. That's a lot of work. That's more work than needed. I'm already reading like one light novel right now that has like 2,600 chapters. Okay.
Oh boy.
And I'm only at chapter 205.
No. All right. So, last but not least here, Inso's Law, 6 chapters.
So cute.
So cute.
We finally know what the direction of this is going.
We're going yandere!
Woo! Yandere power in there, boys.
Yeah. So
more than that. Now they're doing like, there's like every single like thing that's happening where she was like, oh yeah, who is that? You know, let's just avoid the gangsters. Maybe even though I recognize that one guy from the beach, I'm just going to, let's just not go there. Let's not go there. Or
stay away from it as soon as we can. We're not going to be about it.
The clash between like the four different, the two different groups.
The new 4 kings,
dude, you know what I mean?
The 4 heavenly kings from her old school, and now the new 4 heavenly kings in the new class. Yeah. Even though they're kind of like not the 4 heavenly kings,
like
because
the 3 heavenly kings and 2 heavenly queens.
Yeah, they're kind of they kind of take a title, but they really don't. But yeah.
The fact that chick literally just jumped from the 2nd story window.
We don't know if that's a guy yet or a girl. Okay, we just, there's a lot of assumptions. She's assuming that's the way the story is, but it could end up being like, oh no, I was a guy all along. It could be that too. Like,
really?
Regardless, this person still jumped from a 2nd story window and ran away from dudes in the mob, dog. Like, they showed up in a limousine. Oh, there he is. Go get him.
Go get him. And I like her reaction to that. He's like, oh, you know, as you do on a normal day, jump from a window, run from people in a limousine. It just happens. And just bullshit. But Euro Yang's reaction to all of this situation happening. I mean, we've seen her before react the same way.
Best friend.
Yeah.
No one else.
I'm about to murder this bitch if she don't step the fuck off.
I mean, is it so far that it's her best friend and not her potential paramour?
Potential lover.
That she's my lover. She's mine lover. Oh, that was...
Dog, when the whole 4 Heavenly Kings got mad serious about that, dog. For somebody they never even met, dude.
Yes, they're all
Only
equally
2 of them
upset.
seen them, but all 4 of them, 5 of them, go, oh, dude, we're about to go throw hands. Hold up.
Well, I mean,
I'm not about this.
3 of the 4 were gonna throw hands. The other one was gonna cry and complain about he didn't want a new daddy.
No, he's like, I don't want a new daddy. I'm gonna kill him.
I'll kill myself before I get a new daddy.
No, not kill himself, but he's gonna kill him instead.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm sorry. That was just too silly. That was too funny with everything that was happening in that. So
there was just too much going on in those chapters, dude. I'm not even gonna lie.
I wasn't expecting I knew that they were eventually gonna meet,
you know?
but I wasn't expecting her to just straight up go to murder mode right away.
I don't know. The second she saw him with Blondie, shot her with Blondie. Oh, it's down. It's going down. It's going down.
Okay, so Dan I's reaction to all of this and how she's trying to potentially handle this. Her plan is, I need to get them all together and then they'll like coalesce into this new group, super group. But, you know, maybe they may push me out
They're just
because of it.
using me to get to each other so they can fuck each other later. That's basically what she's thinking.
I'm the plot
literally.
point. I'm the plot point to all of this.
I don't
I'm
want to
just
be
a
the plot point, but I
line.
guess I'm the plot point now. God damn it. Send help.
Uh,
I'm about to go kill the author of this fucking web novel.
I'm kind of waiting for her to like constantly get to that point where she just tries to find the author and just straight kill them.
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting for the moment where she just finds the author and then just strangles him.
Well,
But why are you making me live through this? Why?
Okay, so all the kings now know each other. Well, the kings and the queens all know each other. So where do we see at least this going with the group? So is this our next chapters or 6 chapters if this is how we're gonna get a release? Do we see them all like clashing heads and everyone going, you know, I don't want to deal with you because, you know, you're with my friend, or, you know, she's gonna try and coerce them all together. I'm not sure. Just from literally, we should follow the beats of the romance novel. So
I feel like she's just gonna try and get them all to be friends, to be honest.
arc.
Like,
I
that's
have no
my thing.
idea. Like, I have no idea.
You have no idea where this
This
could
is
go.
taking too many 180s that it's just.
This is one of the stories where I feel like it's not completely original because it's not like, you know, we haven't done like, oh, I realized that, you know, like I'm super meta, all right? But because it is so super meta that like it can do whatever it wants. That you're like, okay, I have no idea where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
This is like me reading Gwenpool again and be like, oh yeah, she meta herself into a mutant. What? So this is the same thing where she's like, the story is so meta that it
overlaps
does whatever
itself.
it wants, and you're like, I don't know. I obviously have no idea where this is going.
I mean, I consider that a good thing, kinda. You know, being able to
Follow me? Yes.
Yes.
You.
That wasn't the point I was trying to make, but it was more just a story that's at least interesting enough and compelling where I can have, you know, a non-realistic prediction. I can kind of throw one out, but I really don't have a lot of base to say like this is the most likely path. It's just, this could be one, this could be another, or they could just completely decide to pull a 100% different angle and go somewhere else entirely. So it's overall just a good way of handling it.
We'll find out later on that this ends up being like Haruhi, and she was Haruhi all along. She was like, I'm apparently the goddess of the world.
No.
And this is all my fault.
No, we won't go that route. Let's hope not. It doesn't go that route. Oh no. Whew. Oh, well, brings us to the last bit. That was everything. We made it through everything this time. It's I'm happy to say that at least, but whoa.
We didn't miss anything, right?
No, we didn't miss
You want to
everything.
double check?
We got everything.
Get the list in front of us this time.
Yes, I made sure. It's right there. Right there.
I had to bring that up last week. I definitely forgot about that.
But hey, it was fun either way. We had a lot of great chapters to discuss. A lot of crazy things happening with all the characters.
Chapters are just going insane with how it's taking off now. It's going through, and I just want to throw out there how WEBTOONs is starting to get a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah,
we've got phone games for WEBTOONs. Like there's a Hardcore Leveling Warrior, Lucid Adventure phone game. There's fucking like a goddamn God of High School phone game. I actually have to download it. So I had to look at my phone quick.
Yeah, I did see some of those. So it's good that they're getting some traction. They're getting popular. More people are starting to see them. I do know that.
Plus, like with the what is it? Nevro, Crunchyroll, and WEBTOONs is starting to do a collab somewhat. You know,
I think
we'll probably be getting a Tower of Babel.
Ooh,
anime, maybe they're talking about that. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. That I'm glad that the whole WEBTOONs community is coming together to try and get something done with it. You know? Nice.
That's actually really good. Oh man. But I mean that's everything I got to bring up for this week. I know that we had some other things happen. I know you did a cast last night with all discussion of solo leveling. I think that one's already up.
We're going to be doing that once a month, so if you guys manage to have time, you guys can be more than free to join us, obviously. So, like, yeah, if you guys wanted to talk about solo leveling once a month for, like, just the latest chapter that's out,
I already have to do it twice every other week.
It's not so bad, but either way.
Fair enough, Mark.
This is for everybody else that doesn't have to, so it's all right. But yeah, a little bit longer discussion on that. I know we still have a few other things cooking in the pot for ourselves. Hey, I actually just got our Facebook page up. Definitely, we'll leave a link to that below. Everyone can go check that out. We're just right now posting pictures of some of our favorite webtoons that are out there and manhwas as well. Go there, like the page, go ahead and post some of your favorite manhwas, webtoons, and everything that you can there. Trying to build that community up, get it going. But yeah, we're slowly making our way there. We got more stuff cooking up and coming through. Seraph's there keeping it live, doing the streams for us, as well as handling us over on Twitter.
I'm trying my best over there, guys, so don't worry.
You're doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job.
And again, if you guys want to be able to catch us live, like in real time, to ask us questions about whatever chapter we're talking about, if you guys want to discuss random things with us, link's going to be down in the description for the stream, so that way you guys can always just catch us live every 2 weeks.
Yeah, pop in, say hi, see if you have any questions for us. We'll gladly answer them to the best of our ability here that we have while we're discussing. But yeah, I think we can put this one in the bag. How's that?
No, we did good. Just ladies and gentlemen, remember to like, subscribe, and please share the channel with the WEBTOONs community, or just like your friends or whatever. Yeah, it'd be great help to us, and this way we can always post out more content for you guys.
It lets us know that you're interested, and therefore we want to be able to bring more out there as we discuss this. So all right. Well, I think we can all sign off for this week. I am, of course, your host, the Sleepy.
It's your boy Seraph here.
This is Arthur Dragoon.
Hey, take it easy out there.